At a price of just 85 euros, the PO33 is the cheapest sampler to get. But does it actually deliver something at that price? Today I want to talk about this little guy, which is the PO33KO by Teenage Engineering. And the PO33 comes with 40 seconds of sample time. And 40 seconds of sample time doesn't sound like that much. But actually, if you think about it, like how much do you take from a sample? And considering how much you actually take, usually let's say you take 15 seconds of a sample, you can actually see that this is definitely enough with 40 seconds of sample time. And the sampler is actually quite easy to use, and I'm gonna real quick show you how I piece a song together on this. Now I want to show you the ground basics of making a beat within this. So first of all, I have a sample on my phone and I'm gonna record it, which I just do by pressing record and then choosing one of the empty banks. I'm gonna record it into melodic because I can copy it into a drum bank afterwards. And the drum bank is gonna chop the sample up by itself, so I don't have to do this manually. So now we have the sample recorded into the sampler. Pad number 5 is the normal pitch. And for example, if I press number 3, it's like a lot faster and it's another pitch. So to copy it over to a drum bank, you press right, sound, and then the bank where you recorded it into starts blinking, and then you just choose an empty drum bank. I'm gonna go with this. And now we have chops. And as you can hear, they're pitched down. To change that, you press FX until it says tone, and you simply take this knob and place it on 0. So now the samples are in the normal pitch. And I'm gonna try to come up with a very quick pattern. I actually think I'm gonna pitch it down, but not as much as it was in the beginning. Yeah, like this. So yeah, I'm actually just gonna loop one bar of this. So I want this. And before I do that, I want to have the kick out. So basically, I press FX until it says FLT for filter. And I use this knob to adjust. And if I go to the right side, I get a high pass filter. If I go to the left side, I get a low pass filter. So I want a high pass filter, and I'm just gonna test until it's until it sounds like something that I want. And now to write this pattern in, I start to press the first sound that I want to use. So in this case, this, I press right and put it right here. And now if I press play, it's on the first beat of the bar. So at number 2, I want this sound. So I'll just put it here because the first sound plays one beat, the second sound plays one beat. So if I put like 3 and 4 also here and here, we get the 4 first bar onto this. I'm just gonna finish this real quick. And now we have like this loop. And now we can actually, because we have this on pattern 6, we can copy this over to a free pattern. In this case, I'm gonna take 3. So now we are on pattern 3, and we can go into right and we can say we want to change the last sound to this. So I press it and put it here. And now we want those 2 bars to repeat after each other. So to do that, you just press pattern and you press the pattern that you want to play first and then the pattern that you want to play afterwards. And I'm just gonna repeat that a few times. And if I press play now, you can hear it's gonna now as I press play, you can hear that these 2 patterns that I just played in just keeps repeating itself. So as you can hear, the beat is very simple and it's very choppy. This is not perfect. Like you can go much more into detail. You can actually make very fine chops and actually make something that sounds very good. Like just go on Instagram, go on YouTube and search for some videos. They're gonna be much better than I am. So as you can see, the workflow is actually quite simple, and after you watch this video, you're probably gonna be able to piece a song together on a PO33 because you understand the basics of this tiny sampler. So the big question for this sampler is Is it an alternative to a real sample like an MPC or something like that? So my guess is that a lot of people considering getting one of these are probably thinking about to get into sampling, getting into the world of taking records and making them to beats. And they probably get like a little bit of shocked about the prices for an MPC or something like that. So they're gonna look into some other alternatives. Therefore you might actually watch this video because you want to see if this is an alternative. And the short answer is no. This is not gonna replace a real sampler or any DAW because you don't have any built-in effects, like you don't have any compression, you don't have a real EQ, you just don't have any type of mixing possibilities on this thing. So what you need to do is you actually need to record this onto a DAW and then afterwards either mix it. What I usually do is I record the master into Cubase and afterwards I would master it. I would apply some EQ and some compressor over the whole track just to like pep it up and give it some better quality and like just round it up as a beat. So I would say you can definitely make full-on beats on this little sampler, but you're still gonna need some kind of production platform like a DAW or maybe a real MPC or something like that. So if you're wondering who this little sampler is for, I would probably say this is suited perfectly for people who already are into production, already have an MPC, already have a DAW or something like that, and just want a tiny little toy, like want something that is very easy to take with you. The portability of this is just so awesome. You can actually fit this into your pocket and take it with you. So I would consider the PO33 more of a toy for producers who want to get like small ideas out very quickly, who maybe want to make some beats on vacation or at their friend's house or something like that. Especially because you are actually able to sample directly from your phone. So this is a very portable setup and it's very fun to play with. Like, I think the workflow is super enjoyable, but for people who seriously want to make beats or seriously want to get into sampling, this thing is just too limited. And I think limitations can be useful for music production, but these kind of limitations are cooler for people who already are making beats, who already have an MPC or a DAW, but who want to like limit themselves to get their creativity more flowing. But this is definitely too limited for a complete beginner. And I also want to mention, like, this is kind of a problem for this little sampler, that the volume out is super low, so it's very hard to hear, and you probably gonna need something like an interface or very loud speakers so that you actually can hear your beat. So I hope you can apply this information towards your thoughts about purchasing one of these. And if so, I would appreciate a comment on the video or a like. And yeah, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.